The official comes in from the sideline. There's Creech in there to take the jump ball on the other side of Clark. The ball is up, tipped back, and Bogan has it. Bogan over center court. Bogan working around the arc, kicks it back to DeWolf. DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf steps back along the far sideline, moves it over to Turman. Turman top of the key, over to Bogan. Bogan on the near wing. Bogan looking in. Bogan working her way around the arc, kicks it over to DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf approaches, gets in, top of the paint, now coming in the near side, gets it back to Bogan. Bogan into the paint, trying to get to Clark, that knocked away. Here comes Northfield the other direction. Stopping on the far side, Taylor. Taylor gets it over to Creech. Creech, top of the key. Moving around the near side to Mattimore. Mattimore over on the far side to Bumhauer. Bumhauer over to Taylor. Taylor working her way along the far side. Mattimore, she's dangerous from three. Kicking that back on the far side. Bumhauer works her way into the paint, puts it up off the glass and in. 7:06 left to go here in the first, as Northview takes the 2-0 lead on Pioneer. Turman has it. Double team. Turman kicks it to DeWolf. DeWolf over center court. DeWolf approaches into the paint, puts it up. It will not fall for it. Pulled away. Rebound by Northville. Coming up the near side. Bumhauer. Bumhauer. Bounce pass. Trying to get to Taylor. She couldn't hang on to it. That goes out of bounds. Pioneer will inbound baseline right. 6:45 left to go here in the first period. Pioneer nothing. Northfield 2. Turman inbounds to DeWolf. DeWolf coming down the near sidelines. Kicks it back to Turman. Turman ahead to Bogan. Bogan moves it to DeWolf. DeWolf over center court along the near sideline. DeWolf quickly double team. Makes her way into the baseline on the near wing. Kicks it back. Turman puts up a three-pointer. That bounces off the rim. Clark with the rebound. Clark puts up a hook. And it goes down. 6:23 left to go here in the first period. 2-2 is our score. Bumhauer will inbound, baseline left. Gets the ball back, Bumhauer. Dribbling ahead, coming down the far sideline. She comes over center court, being watched by Hicks. Bumhauer gets into the paint, and it'll be a charge. As excellent job by Turman to get her fleet planted. The ball will go to Pioneer. Hicks will inbound baseline right. 6:09 left to go. 2-2 is our score. Hicks has it on the near sideline. Bounce pass over to Wolf on the far sideline. To Wolf over center. Back to Hicks. Hicks into the corner. There's a shot by Bogan. That wouldn't fall. Coming away with it. Creech. Creech over to Bumhauer. Bumhauer over center. Bumhauer pushing it into the paint. Gets it over to Taylor, who puts up a layup. Just the near side of the basket. Good job coming down Taylor and bounce passing it over. Or Bumhauer coming in, getting over to Taylor. 5:36 left to go here in the first. It's Pioneer 2, Northville 4, as DeWolf double team gets it over to Turman. Turman moving it to Bogan. Bogan on the near wing. Bogan working away around the arc from the near side to the far side. Bogan looking for a place to go with it. Gets it to Hicks. Hicks, top of the key. Hicks looks to her left. Gets it to DeWolf. DeWolf coming, working around. Comes over to the far side, kicking it into the far corner, over to Hicks. Hicks puts up a 16-footer, would not fall for her. Grabbed by Mattimore. Mattimore gets it over to Bumhauer. Bumhauer puts it up, bounce pass, and up. Would not fall for Taylor. Rebounded by Clark. Moving it, Hicks over center. Hicks comes up to the three-point line, gets into the paint along the baseline, puts up a floater, would not fall. Clark with the rebound. Clark puts it up. Will not fall for her, but there is a whistle. 4:43 left to go here. Creech gets called for the foul. So it's 4:43, Pioneer 2, Northville 4. Clark at the line, shooting 2. Clark dribbles, puts it up, puts it in. 1 point lead by Northville. Sullins comes in for Northview. Stewart and Brines in for Pioneer. Clark Puts the second one up and puts it in. We're tied at 4. 4:43 left to go. Baumhauer brings it up. Gets it onto the far wing, dribbling into the paint. That kicked over. Mattimore puts up a 3. Would not fall. Rebound. Put up and in. Sullins got the rebound. Put it up and in. DeWolf bring it up court. 4:25 left to go here in the first. Interception coming the other direction. Maple kicks over on the near side to Baumhauer. Baumhauer into the paint. Knocks it off the glass and in. As it is Northview 8 and Pioneer 4. We'll have a whistle and a timeout. Pioneer to inbound. Hicks, baseline right. Bounces it over to DeWolf. DeWolf coming down the far sideline. Northview has had some full court pressure, but they're backing off now. DeWolf goes over center court. Moves over to Hicks on the near wing. Hicks works her way around the arc. Gets to the free throw line. Kicks it to DeWolf for 3. DeWolf hits it! 3:50 left to go here in the first. Pioneers 7, Northview 8. Baumhauer brings it up, gets over to Taylor, gets it back on the near wing. Baumhauer moves it over to Sullins. Sullins over to Taylor. Taylor over to Mattimore. Mattimore top the key. Goes to her left. Over to Taylor. Taylor moving it. Sullins at the side of the paint into the near corner. Trying to work it around Mattimore. Mattimore kicks it over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer drives the lane. Puts it up. Would not fall as she came down the far side of the paint. DeWolf picks up a foul. 1 foul for Pioneer, 2 for Northview. Baumhauer shooting 2. 3:20 left to go here in the first. Pioneer 7, Northview 8. First free throw is up and rims out. Baumhauer with one more. As she toes the line, dribbles it a few times, spins it, looks up, puts it up. And it rims off, falls off the front of the rim. Brines with the rebound. Brines over to Wolf, coming down the near sideline, over Sever. DeWolf dribbles to her left. DeWolf gets it to Brines. Brines, that off of a foot. There's DeWolf for 3. That would not fall. Bogan trying to get the rebound. That goes. Hicks grabs it, picks up a loose ball. Over to DeWolf. DeWolf just on the edge of the blockades. Dribbles to her right. Pioneer down by 1. 2:53 left to go. DeWolf calling out signals. Brines cutting towards the paint. DeWolf, top of the key. DeWolf hands it off to Hicks. Hicks dribbles to her right. Hicks looking for a place to go. Bounce pass over to Clark. Clark thought about the three-pointer. Now skies it and trying to get it over to DeWolf. Baumhauer flashed in front of her and went out of bounds. That will go over to Northview. 2:37 left to go here in the first. Pioneer 7, Northview 8. Baumhauer brings it up the far sideline. Baumhauer hands it off. And picked up on the near side. Trying to put it over is Leamy. Into the near corner. Shot that one. Just went wide. Trying to pull it up. That was Maple for the three-pointer. And grabbing it is Bogan. Bogan ahead to DeWolf. DeWolf coming down the near sideline over center court. DeWolf gets top of the key. Now cuts to her left, working around on the near wing. DeWolf steps back, gets a little bit of room, and is working in front of her is Morgan. Bounces it over to Clark. Clark top of the key. Clark kicks it to Brines on the far wing. Brines skies it to Clark. Top of the paint over to Bogan. Bogan tries to drive line, kicks it in the near corner for Hicks. Hicks gets her own rebound. So the three-pointer wouldn't fall. She goes down to the court. As that's pulled away by Sullins. Sullins over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer on the near wing, loses the ball, gets it back as she's working against Hicks. Kicks up to the free throw line. Now moves it over on the far side to Leamy. Bringing it in. Morgan over to Baumhauer, who puts up a 3. Won't fall, and Clark gets the rebound. Skying over Maple to get it. DeWolf coming down the near sideline. DeWolf over center. DeWolf cuts into the paint. DeWolf puts up a floater. Would not fall. Trying to battle for her own rebound. That gets tied up, and jump ball called. Possession arrow goes towards Northview. 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go in the first. 7 for Pioneer, 8 for Northview. Stewart and Rollins in for Pioneer. Bumhauer to inbound, gets it to Mattimore, then gets it right back. Bumhauer walking up the far sideline, just outside of the blockades, goes over center. Now moves it to Leamy. Leamy over to Morgan. Morgan working her way around the arc. Over on the far wing is Mattimore. Mattimore has Brines on top of her. And over to Leamy. Leamy on the far wing. Leamy calling out signals. Now steps up, top of the key, over to Morgan. Morgan, there's a pass underneath the Leamy. Leamy puts up the layup, wouldn't go. Brines with the rebound. Brines over to DeWolf. 35 seconds left to go in the first. DeWolf over center. Pioneer 7. And Northview 8. DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf gets it over to Rollins. Rollins, top of the key. Rollins over to Stewart. Stewart on the far wing. Stewart looking to her right, calling out signals, looking for a place to go with it. Stewart over to Brines. Brines on the near wing. Brines over to DeWolf. DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf looking for a screen from Rollins. DeWolf steps up. 5 seconds left. DeWolf into the paint, puts up the floater, and rolls in and down. Finger roll, rolled around the rim and down, and Pioneer takes their first lead. Possession arrow pointing their way, so Hicks will inbound just in front of us. Official gives her the ball. She gives it to Bogan. Bogan calls out signals. Bogan on the near wing. Bogan has Morgan watching her. Bogan into the near corner for Turman. Turman quickly moves it to Stewart. Top of the key. Stewart over to Hicks in the far corner. Hicks bounce pass trying to get it to Clark. That knocked away. Battle for it, and Hicks gets the rebound. Hicks over to Clark. Clark puts up an 18-footer, bounces around and up, in and over the glass as it bounced off the back of the rim. Looked like it might come down. She might get a serious touch, but no. That inbounded. Bumhauer coming down. 7:30 left to go here in the second before halftime. Bumhauer has it on the near wing. Hicks watching her. Moves it over to Sullen. On the far side to Leamy. Leamy over to Mattimore. Mattimore kicks it back to Leamy. Leamy, top of the key. Leamy rocks down on the near side. Now Morgan coming in baseline right-hand side. And that knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Northville. 7:13 left to go before halftime. Pioneer 9. Northville 8. Bumhauer to inbound. Baseline underneath their own basket. Trying to get it over to Sullins. And that will be a jump ball as Hicks went down to grab it away. That's going to be pointing the direction of Pioneer. So Hicks will inbound. Oh, they actually called a foul on Sullins. 3 fouls on Northville, 1 on Pioneer. 7:10 left to go. Pioneer by a point. DeWolf over to Hicks along the far sideline. Again, full court pressure being provided by Northville. Bogan kicks it over to DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf dribbles to her left, now gets it to Stewart in the near corner. Stewart kicks it to Clark, top of the key, over on the far sideline to Hicks. Hicks back over on the near side to Bogan. Bogan trying to put it up, and there's a floater put in by DeWolf. DeWolf got it, came down the baseline, put it in. Pioneer 11. And Northville 8, 6:37 left to go here in the first half, second quarter. That put up an 18-footer, and she hit it. As that was Maple on the far side. That inbounded by Hicks. Hicks over to DeWolf. DeWolf back over to Hicks as pressure being provided by Taylor. Taylor and Maple doubling up. And there's a three-pointer by Hicks that just wouldn't fall. Just off the mark. Coming the other direction, Bumhauer over center. Bumhauer approaches the three-point line, trying to get it bounce pass underneath the Taylor. So they have obviously worked on that play a lot as Bumhauer driving the lane just on the far side of the paint. Bounce pass as she's driving it over to Taylor, who's sitting right underneath the basket. That point foul called on Pioneer. 6:02 left to go in the second. As that's over on the far side to Mattimore, put up by Bumhauer, wouldn't fall. Bogan with the rebound. Bogan heads up, gives it to DeWolf. DeWolf on the near wing, right at the three-point line. DeWolf being watched by Taylor, over to Stewart. Stewart trying to bounce pass, and that got caught on Bumhauer's foot. That'll be a kick ball. So Brines comes in, gives Stewart a breather. Creech in for Northview. DeWolf to inbound underneath her own basket. As Bogan trying to make a move, now that's over to Hicks. Hicks right at the edge of the blockades. Comes over to the far wing. Gets it to DeWolf. DeWolf into the paint. Now kicks it back to Brines. Brines stop the key. Back over to DeWolf. Just to the left of the top of the key. Moving back. Now on the near wing. DeWolf. Now dribbles to her right-hand side. Goes from the near side to the far side. Kicks it over to Bogan. Bogan over to Clark. Clark top of the key. Clark gets it to Hicks. Hicks into the paint. Hicks moves it over on the near side to Bogan. Bogan on the near wing gets kicking it back to Brines. Brines back to Bogan. On the far wing is DeWolf. DeWolf over in the far corner for Hicks. Hicks going down the baseline. That bounces off the rim. Would not fall as Bumhauer gets the rebound over center. Bumhauer into the paint. Bumhauer puts it up off the glass and puts it in. 4:53 left to go here in the second quarter. Pioneer 11 and Northville 12. So they take the 1-point lead. DeWolf coming down the far sideline. DeWolf on that far wing. Being watched by Bumhauer. DeWolf hands it off to Hicks. Hicks moves to left-hand side zone defense for Northville. There's a three-pointer, and it would not fall as DeWolf put a three-pointer and bounce off the back of the rim. Bumhauer quickly up the other way into the paint, puts it up. Roller off the high glass, puts it in, and now it's Pioneer 11 and Northville 14. Determined inbound. Baseline right. Pioneer going from right to left in this opening half. 4:20 left to go in the second quarter. Pioneer down by 3. Pioneer 11, Northville 14. DeWolf brings it up the far sideline. Northville backed off on their pressure, their full court pressure. Now they try and double. That overdetermined on the far sideline. Knocked out of bounds. It's Bumhauer. Got her hands up. Slight playing guard. Bumhauer, probably the second tallest player on the court for Northville. Bogan to inbound right in front of the Northville bench. Inbounded to DeWolf on the far sideline. She's double teamed, gets it to Stewart in the air corner. Stewart goes down the baseline, puts it up, and puts it in, plus the foul. Felicia Stewart with a beautiful job coming down the far line, gets contact, puts it in. Creech with the foul. Stewart has an opportunity to tie it up. Pioneer 13. Northville 14. Stewart dribbles, puts it up, and sinks it. Stewart ties it up. 4 minutes left to go. Bumhauer brings it up. The far side tied up at 14. Bumhauer works her way around the arc from the far side to the near side, tries to get into the paint, puts it off the glass, puts it in. Inbounded by Turman. Northville by 2 again. Pressure coming in the backcourt, quickly ahead to Bogan. Bogan stops right at the top of the key, moves it to DeWolf. DeWolf over to Stewart on the far sideline. Back to DeWolf. DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf dribbles to her left, being watched by Matamore. Gets it to Brines on the near wing. Brines top of the key, over to Stewart. Stewart top of the key. Stewart going to come down the paint, puts it off the glass, and rattles it home. Felicia Stewart again ties it up. This time it's 16 apiece. Bumhauer coming down the far sideline. 3:12 left to go here in the second quarter. Bumhauer comes to the near wing, hands it off to Maple. Maple gets it underneath the Sullen. Back to Bumhauer. Bumhauer underneath. Stewart goes up, gets a piece of her. As they're really good at that bounce pass in traffic. As Bumhauer got it right at the free throw line, bounce pass underneath the Sullen. Sullens went up and Stewart got a piece of her. Now Sullen's shooting 2. 3 minutes left to go in the second. Sullens. That rattles off the rim. Still tied at 16 apiece. Morgan. Turman and Bogan take a rest as Clark and Hicks come back in. Morgan comes in for Northville. Sullins at the line. Spins it, puts it up, puts it in. Northville by 1. Pioneer 16, Northville 17. 3 minutes left to go. DeWolf has it along the far sideline. Pressure coming in the backcourt. That quickly skied up, and that just passed a little off the mark. And here comes Bumhauer. Bumhauer moves it underneath to Taylor. Taylor kicks it for a three-pointer to Maple, and Maple sinks it from the far wing three-pointer. And it's a 4-point lead now by Northville. 2:39 left to go. Yeah, full court pressure being given. Bryan's up to Stewart. Stewart just over half court, moves it over to DeWolf. DeWolf over to Hicks in the corner. Hicks has it knocked away. Hicks has that ahead to Taylor. Here comes Bumhauer. Bumhauer over center. Bumhauer trying to get into the paint. Gets it underneath. Bryan's knocks it away. Bryan starts to rush the other direction. Bryan's over center. Bryan's finds Stewart. Stewart on the far wing. Stewart gets it to DeWolf. Pioneer down by 4. 2 minutes left to go before half. DeWolf calling out signals. DeWolf bounces over to Clark, top of the key. Clark looks to her left, gets it to Stewart. Stewart working her way around the arc, gets it to Bryans on the far wing. Bryans gets it to Clark, knocked away. Bryans gets it back over to DeWolf. DeWolf approaches the arc. DeWolf into the paint, now bounce pass into the near corner. That put up would not fall for Hicks. As Stewart goes down for the rebound, gets it to Hicks. Hicks puts it up just a little too hard, would not fall. Bumhauer the other direction. Bumhauer into the paint. Bumhauer puts it off the glass and in. Pioneers 16, Northville 22, 1 minute 25 seconds remaining. DeWolf on the far side. Taylor putting up full court pressure. Back to Bryans. Bryans back to DeWolf. DeWolf over center. DeWolf comes to the near sideline. DeWolf gets it to Bryans. Bryans bounce pass underneath to Clark. Clark into the paint. Park trying to put up the hook, and contact made, and Clark will go to the line. 1 minute 9 seconds left to go here before halftime. Sullins called for the foul. Clark shooting 2. Pioneer 16. Northville 22. Pioneer has 3 fouls. Northville 5. Clark puts it up. Bounces off the front of the rim and will not fall for her. One more shot for Clark at the line. Rollins comes in to replace Bryans. Leamy in for Northville. Clark bounces it, puts it up, rattles around and falls down. Pioneers 17, Northville 22. Northville by 5. Bumhauer bringing up the far sideline. Bumhauer being watched by Hicks. Bumhauer dribbles to her left now. Bounce pass over to Sullins. Sullins gets it. There's Leamy with the three-pointer. That won't fall. Rollins with the rebound. That over to DeWolf. DeWolf coming down the near sideline. Over center court. DeWolf approaches it, puts it into the near corner for Hicks. Hicks back to DeWolf, top of the key, over to Rollins on the far side. Stewart in the far corner. Stewart back to DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf calling out signals. 37 seconds left to go in the half. Bounce pass over to Rollins, top of the key. Rollins lob out to the left-hand side, now moves it to Clark. Clark just to the left to center. Clark calling out signals, moves it to Stewart. Stewart being watched by Taylor. Stewart gets it to Hicks at the three-point line. Hicks on the far wing. Hicks bounces it over to Rollins. That's stolen away. Here comes Taylor into the court. Taylor puts it up, puts it in with 13 seconds left to go. And coming up the way is DeWolf. DeWolf into the paint. DeWolf trying to get to Clark. Clark holding it in. That will go over to Northville. Pioneer 17, Northville 24. 7-point lead by Northville. And they will have 2.5 seconds left to try and get a shot off. Creech comes in for Northville. Bumhauer inbounding. Hicks comes over. Bumhauer over center. Bumhauer puts it up and off the front of the rim. Looking to inbound is Taylor right in front of us. 8 minutes up on the clock. That over to Maple. Maple over center. Maple being watched by Turman. Hands it off to Creech. Creech bounce pass over to Bumhauer. Bumhauer trying to work her way up. That goes off the bottom of the rim. She gets her rebound and puts it in. So 9-point lead now for Northfield. Their largest lead of the game. Turman coming down The near sideline over to Bogan. Bogan on the near wing. Bogan over to DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf puts it on the far corner. There's a shot by Hicks. Will not fall. Turman with the rebound. Turman, top of the key, kicks it back to DeWolf. DeWolf on the edge of the block A's. 7:23 left to go here in the third. DeWolf calling out signals, being watched by Matamore. DeWolf dribbles to her left, gets it to Hicks. Hicks along the far sideline. Hicks works her way over to Bogan. Bogan top of the key. Bogan dribbles to her left, now comes back to the three-point arc, hands it off to DeWolf. DeWolf looking for a place to go with it, and there is a timeout called. Amazing photos, and she's down in Florida, and she hasn't once rubbed in the wonderful weather down there. Listening in, we appreciate that. Her daughters. Felicia Stewart inbounds over to DeWolf. DeWolf, top of the key. DeWolf looking to her left, gets it back to Stewart. Stewart on the far wing. Stewart dribbles to her right. Stewart over to the free throw line, gets it to DeWolf in the near corner. DeWolf works her way around the arc. DeWolf working on Matamore. Over to Bogan on the far wing, underneath to Clark. Clark puts up a hook and contact made. And Clark will go to the line to shoot two. 6:37 left to go. Matamore gets the foul. Pioneers 17. Northview 26. Clark hits the first free throw. Pioneer 18 now. 8-point lead. Clark dribbles, eyes the basket, puts it up, puts it in. Clark hits both of them. It is now a 7-point lead by Northfield. Pioneers 19, Northfield 16. Bumhauer into the paint, puts it up, bounces off the back of the rim, rebound by Turman. Turman gets it on the near side to DeWolf. DeWolf over center. DeWolf into the paint. DeWolf puts up a floater. Contact, no call. That pulled down by Creech. Creech heading the other direction. Stewart providing full court pressure. Bumhauer now has it. Right over center court. Bumhauer coming down the near sideline. Hands it off. That to Matamore. Matamore over to Maple. Matamore gets it back. Matamore coming into the baseline. Puts it up. Contact made. Stewart gets called for the foul. That is the first foul of the half for Pioneer. One foul for each. Matamore dribbles at the line, puts it up, and it will not fall. 7-point lead by Northville. 6:02 left to go here in the third. And Matamore sinks the second. 8-point lead. Pioneer 19, Northfield 27. As bringing it up, that over. DeWolf gets it determined, then back to DeWolf. DeWolf gets it in the far corner, coming up. Bogan over to Clark. Clark puts up the hook, will not fall. As Creech gets the rebound, and Stewart trying to pull it away from her, takes the foul. That'll be Pioneer's second foul. It's her third foul for the game. Pioneer's second for the half. Northview to inbound on the baseline to the right. Bumhauer gets it to Maple, then gets it right back. Bumhauer coming up the near side, calling out signals over midcourt, being watched by Hicks. Hands it off to Maple. Maple bounce pass over to Creech. Creech into the far corner, then knocked away. Turman gets the takeaway, coming up ahead. Stewart on the near wing. Stewart goes baseline, puts it up, and it just would not fall. It touched every part of the rim, wouldn't go down, but Stewart is fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot two. 5:23 left to go here in the third. Pioneer 19, Northville 27. Stewart puts it up and puts it in. Pioneer now with 20. One more free throw coming for Stewart. 7-point lead by Northville. Stewart puts it in. Nothing but net. It is now a 6-point lead by Northview. Bringing it up, Bumhauer being watched by Hicks. Over center court, Bumhauer onto the near wing, hands it off to Matamore. Matamore over to Maple. Maple over to Taylor. Taylor on the far sideline, kicks it back to Bumhauer on the near wing. Bumhauer gets a screen, trying to fight through it is Hicks. Bumhauer underneath the basket, got a little too deep. That went off the bottom of the basket. Clark with the rebound, ahead to Hicks. Hicks on the near wing. Hicks works her way to her left-hand side, trying to get down into the baseline, puts it up, would not fall. Clark trying to get the rebound. Hicks gets her own rebound. She gets off to the far corner. Gets it over to Brines. Brines into the near corner for Clark. Waved off. They'll call her for a travel. 4:46 left to go here in the third. 6-point lead. Pioneer 21, Northview 27. Bumhauer over center court, being watched by Hicks. Bumhauer goes to her left, hands it off to Maple. Maple on the far side to Matamore. Matamore over to Taylor. The Matamore gets it, puts it up to three. That won't fall. Grabbed by Hicks. Hicks coming down the near sideline. Hicks into the near corner. Hicks bounce pass, trying to get it inside to Clark. That goes off of Bumhauer's foot. Kick ball. DeWolf comes back in. Stewart will take a breather. Bogan at the scorer's bench waiting to come in as well. Bogan will replace Brines. So Brines will take a breather. DeWolf to inbound. Right underneath her own base basket on the baseline to our right. That kick back to Hicks. Hicks working her way in near side of the paint. Puts it up. Foul call. 4:18 left to go here in the third. Pioneer down by 6, but Hicks will go to the line to shoot two. Creech gets her third personal foul. That is the third of this half for Northview. Hicks puts it up, rattles around, and would not fall. That shooter's role is not being kind to them, as it was a 1-and-1, right? Or are they saying? As Northview saying it should be a 1-on-1. And I don't know what they do as far as who gets the rebound at that point, except for make it a jump ball. As they had originally said two, they're gonna call it shooting two. As the Northview coach is not thrilled with the decision. Hicks puts it up, puts it in, hits the second one. 22 points for Pioneer, 27 for Northview. Baumhauer brings it over center, comes to her left-hand side. Baumhauer down underneath the basket, puts it up, and that will be a charge. Or no, stepped on the line. Full timeout. It's Pioneer ball, baseline left, as Hicks will inbound. 2 fouls for Pioneer, 3 in this half for Northview. Hicks inbounds it to DeWolf. DeWolf coming up the far sideline. Northview threatens pressure. And over to Turman. Turman over to Bogan. Bogan into the paint. Bogan stops, spins, kicks it into the near corner for Hicks. Hicks puts it up and fills it up. 3-pointer for Hicks. It's a 2-point game with 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in this quarter. That over to Taylor. Taylor on the far side. Over to Maple. Maple gets it back to Taylor. Taylor puts up the 3. She hits it. So answering right back. Back to a 5-point game. 3:34 left to go here in this, the third period. DeWolf has it. Goes to her left-hand side. DeWolf kicks it over to Bogan. Bogan on the near wing. Bogan back to DeWolf. DeWolf over to Turman in the far corner. DeWolf on the near wing. Over. Bogan over to Hicks. Hicks works her way around the arc. Back to DeWolf on the far wing. That put up. 3-pointer by Bogan. Bogan hits it. Back to a 2-point game. 3:06 left to go. Pioneer 28. Northview 30. Baumhauer brings it up. Baumhauer hands it off to Mattimore. Mattimore on the far side to Maple. Maple gets on the far sideline to Taylor. Maple back, top of the key. Maple puts up an 18-footer. That goes out of bounds. Over to Pioneer. Pioneer. Only 2 points down. 2:48 left to go here in the third. DeWolf ahead to Turman. Turman moves it to Bogan. Bogan on the near sideline. Bogan tries to get around Taylor. Contact made. Taylor got called for the foul. That will be the team's fourth of the half. Mattimore goes off. Leamy comes in for Northview. Inbounded to DeWolf. DeWolf on the R of Pioneer, right inside of half court. Now dribbles to her left. Over to Bogan. Bogan on the far sideline. Bogan works her way over to Clark. Clark, top of the key, over to Turman. Turman on the near wing. Turman over to DeWolf. DeWolf, top of the key, back to Turman. Turman going down baseline into the paint, and it will not fall for her. Rebound, Taylor. Taylor over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer gets into the paint, puts it up, and they'll say contact made. They'll say she shoots two. That's going to be on Clark. 2:10 left to go here in the third. Pioneer 28, Northview 30. Pioneer now with 3 fouls in the half. Northview with 4. Baumhauer puts it up, puts it in. 3-point lead for Northview. That was Clark's first foul. Brines and Stewart comes in, replacing Turman and Hicks. So they both get a breather. Stewart and Clark closest to the basket, looking for a rebound. Pioneer 28, Northview 31. One more shot coming for Baumhauer. Baumhauer steps to the line, toes it up, dribbles, looks up, puts it up, rolls around him, going down. 4-point lead by Northview. Inbounded to DeWolf. DeWolf coming down on the near sideline. DeWolf dribbles. Northview threatening pressure. They haven't, though. Bounce pass over on the far side to Bogan. Bogan over to Brines. Brines gets it back to DeWolf. DeWolf for 3. That just off to the left. Stewart battles for the rebound. Gets it to Brines. Brines bounce pass underneath to Clark. Clark puts it up. Will not fall. That pulled away by Solon. Solons had it. Foul call. So now it should have been on Brines. Oh no, they give it to Stewart. So the foul on Stewart, that's her third. Hicks replaces Stewart. Stewart goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Inbounded by Baumhauer, and then gets it back as Maple tips it back to her. Hicks watching Baumhauer as she goes over center court. And moves over to Maple. Maple getting it on the near side to Sullins. Sullins puts it up. Too strong a shot, but they call contact. They called DeWolf for a foul. That's her second. That'll be the 5th on Pioneer. 1 minute, 32 seconds left to go. Pioneer 28, Northview 32. The Pioneer fans express their view of the call. That rattles off the left-hand side. Sullins will take her second shot. She comes up to the line, dribbles. 4-point lead, trying to make it 5. That goes in. 5-point lead. Pioneer 26, Northview 33, or 28. Pioneer 28, Northview 33. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the third. Bogan has it along the far sideline. Bogan into the paint, gets it to Clark. Clark back. Brines putting up the 3, and it rattles home. Back to a 2-point lead. Pioneer 31, Northfield 30. Baumhauer's quickly into the lane, and the charge called! As DeWolf had her feet set, they call the charge. Pioneer ball, 1 minute, 14 seconds left to go. Hicks inbounds it ahead to Brines. Brines gets it all the way on the far side. Back to Hicks. Hicks, top of the key. Over to DeWolf. DeWolf on the near wing. Over to Clark. Clark on the far side to Bogan. Bogan gets it over to Hicks. Underneath baseline to Clark. Clark back to DeWolf. Three-pointer. And, rattles off. Clark gets the rebound. Clark on the baseline. Into the paint. Puts it up. The hook will not fall, but a foul called. Clark will go to the line. Sullins picks up her third foul. We are 6 fouls for Pioneer, 6 fouls for Northview. Next foul on either team puts the other team in the bonus. Clark at the line to shoot 2. Clark puts up the first and sinks the first. Pioneer 32, Northview 33, 51.6 seconds left to go in the third. Coach Hicks talking to his team, making sure everyone knows what to do right after this attempt. Puts it in. We're tied at 33 apiece. 51.6 seconds left to go. Clark hitting both from the line. She has been really good from the line today. I think she's only missed one. Blumhauer inbounds. Maple bringing it up the court. Maple over center court. Maple gets it to Sullins. Sullins, top of the key. Sullins bounces it over to Blumhauer. That knocked away. Coming the other direction, here's DeWolf. Pioneer with a chance to take the lead. 35 seconds left to go. As DeWolf over center. DeWolf. Bounce pass over to Hicks. Hicks, top of the key. Hicks gets her way into the paint. Puts it up, and it will not fall, but a foul is called. Blocking foul. Sullins called for the foul. That's Sullins' 4th foul. Hicks at the line, shooting 2. Pioneer now in the bonus. By the way, Pioneer has 5 fouls. I was looking over on the far side. It was blocked a little bit by a basket. Will not fall for Hicks as it rolls around the rim and off. Creech comes in for Northview. Hicks spins the ball, toes the line. One more shot coming, puts it up. Will not fall. We stay tied at 33 apiece. Coming down the far side is Baumhauer. Baumhauer on the far sideline into the paint. Baumhauer rolls it up and in. Finger roll goes down. Northview up by 2. 10 seconds left to go here in the third. DeWolf gets into the paint. DeWolf kicks it. Here's a three-pointer by Bogan. It goes down. Pioneer with the lead, 36-35. As there was a attempt by Northview at the end, took the 1-point lead. Pioneer going from left to right. Hicks to inbound. Hicks to DeWolf. DeWolf calling out signals, goes over half court. DeWolf comes to the near side. Baumhauer watching her. Gets it to Clark. Clark over to Hicks. Back to Brines. Brines over to DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf makes her way around the arc. Gets into the paint. Puts it off the glass and in. Pioneer 38. Northview 35. Bringing it up Baumhauer. Baumhauer hands it off to Mattimore. Mattimore on the far side to Maple. Maple, top of the key. Maple gets a screen over to Taylor. Taylor gets it over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer steps back on the far wing, gets it to Taylor. Taylor into the paint, puts it up, puts it in, glances off the glass. 1-point game. Pioneer 38, Northview 37, 7 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in the fourth. DeWolf has it on the near wing. Bounce pass over to Clark at the top of the key. Clark moves it in the near corner for DeWolf. DeWolf over to Brines. Brines top the key. Back to DeWolf on the near wing. Being watched by Mattimore. DeWolf at the free throw line gets it over to Hicks. Hicks on the far wing. Back to DeWolf. DeWolf over in the near corner for Brines. Brines bounce pass over to Clark. Clark over to Hicks. Hicks with the three-pointer. That bounces off the rim. Rebound to Baumhauer. Baumhauer over center. Baumhauer into the paint. Baumhauer puts it up. That off the bottom of the glass. Coming the other direction is DeWolf. DeWolf into the paint. DeWolf puts it up. Will not fall. Contact made. 6:31 left to go here in the fourth. Creech takes her fourth foul. Creech had replaced Sullins, who had 4 fouls. So the bigs for Northview having a little foul problems. Now Sullins to come in, and DeWolf puts it up, puts it in. 39 for Pioneer, 37 for Northview. Stewart back in for Pioneer. Sullins back in for Northview. DeWolf toes the line, shooting one more. DeWolf puts it up, puts it in. Pioneer by 3. 6:31 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer 40, Northview 37. Baumhauer, leading scorer for the whole game, pulls it over half, comes in, dribbling to her left, gets the baseline, puts it up. Clark knocks it out, and she stepped out of bounds. Baumhauer, blocked by Clark, got it back, but stepped out of bounds before she could kick it on the far side. Pioneer ball with the 3-point lead. DeWolf coming down the far sideline. DeWolf brings it over half court. Baumhauer watching her. DeWolf dribbles to her left, looking for a place to go. Stutter steps, gets to the 3-point line, kicks it off to Bryant. Bryant into the far corner for DeWolf. DeWolf trying to work on Baumhauer, gets it underneath to Stewart. Stewart puts it up. Stewart off glass, will not fall. Coming away with it is Maple. Foul called. Maya Hicks called for a blocking foul. That's Hicks' first foul. That's the 6th team foul in this half for Pioneer. One more, and Northview is in the bonus. They're breaking it up the court. I don't know why. They should be inbound baseline. They have one more before it's 1-1. So that happens. The officials working hard here, and occasionally a mistake is made. Gosh knows I make them. Bogan replacing Hicks. Give Hicks a breather. Baumhauer to inbound underneath her basket. Gets it to Maple. Maple kicks it right back to Baumhauer. Baumhauer bringing it up. Baumhauer over center. Baumhauer kicks it on the far side to Matamore. Matamore over to Taylor on the far sideline. Over to Sullins. Sullins. Maple on the near wing. Back to Baumhauer. Steps to the free throw line over to Matamore. Matamore kicks it back to Baumhauer. Baumhauer puts it off glass. That grab by Bogan. Bogan heading the other direction. Bogan over center. Bogan dribbles. Top of the key over to DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf puts it in the far corner for Stewart. Stewart gets it to Bogan. Top of the key. Bogan on the near wing. Over to DeWolf. DeWolf looking, calling out signals. Gets it to Clark. Top of the key. Clark over to Stewart on the far wing. Stewart working her way around the arc over to Bryans. Bryans gets it over to DeWolf. DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf heads top of the key. DeWolf kicks it back. There's Bogan for 3. Oh, rattles down. It would not drop. The rattles around, but wouldn't go into the cylinder. Maple quickly the other direction. Maple into the paint. Maple kicks it over to Taylor. Taylor for an 18-footer. Would not fall. Clark with the rebound ahead to Stewart. Stewart coming on the near wing. Stewart into the paint, trying to get it over to Bryans. That off a leg and grabbed by Northview. Northview the other direction. Pioneer 40, Northview 37. 4:29 left to go. Maple working her way around the arc from the far side. Bounce pass over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer, top of the key. Baumhauer trying to get into the paint. Goes baseline. Knocked down by Clark. Out of bounds. Stays with Northview. Creech coming in. Rollins and Hicks coming in for Pioneer. Creech in for Northview. Northview to inbound. Baumhauer underneath her own basket, looking for a place to go. Pioneer up by 3. And over to Matamore. Matamore, bounce pass over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer coming down on the far side, trying to get down to the baseline. Foul called. Rollins gets a blocking foul. That will mean Baumhauer is shooting 1-1. 4.11. 4 minutes, 11 seconds left in the fourth. Baumhauer at the line. Puts it up, puts it in. She'll get one more. She brings it to a 2-point game. Pioneer 40. Northview 38. Full timeout called by Northview. Will take it with them. Baumhauer in to shoot her second free throw. She hit the first. and in. 1 point lead by Pioneer, 40-39. 4:11 left to go. DeWolf has it on the far sideline. Full court pressure being applied. DeWolf over center. DeWolf coming down the far sideline. DeWolf kicks it to Stewart. Stewart on the near wing. Stewart getting it back to DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf calls out signals, working her way over to the near side, back to Stewart. Stewart on the near wing, gets it to Hicks. Hicks, top of the key. Hicks, bounce pass over to Clark, then gets it back. Hicks on the far sideline. Hicks gets a stream from Clark, trying to get back to Clark. That knocked down by Creech. Creech heading the other direction. Creech, that knocked down by Clark. Oh, Clark grabbing, stealing it away. Clark stops at the free throw line, gets it back to DeWolf. DeWolf on the near wing. Excellent job by Clark. Screen by Clark, and they call a illegal screen. They call a legal screen that will give the ball right to Northview. 3:25 left to go. Baumhauer brings it over center. Baumhauer has Hicks watching her. Hicks screened off. Baumhauer going down the paint, and she bounces off the bottom of the basket. Baumhauer over to DeWolf. DeWolf heading down the far side. DeWolf baseline, trying to get it up. And Clark trying to get the rebound. Whistle blown. We'll see where this foul goes. That goes on Creech. That should be Creech's 5th foul. She's done. So they'll have to replace her, and Sullins looks to come in. Sullins also has 4 fouls. So Sullins replaces Creech. Clark to the line. 3:04 left to go. Brines comes in for Pioneer, replacing Stewart. So it's Clark at the line. Brines and Hicks, Bogan, and DeWolf in for Pioneer. Clark puts it up, puts it in. Pioneer by 2. Clark with one more shot coming. It's Maple, Baumhauer, Taylor, Mattimore, and Sullins in for Northview. Clark hits the second. She has been lights out from the line tonight. 3-point lead by Pioneer. Baumhauer bringing it down. We're under 3 minutes to go in the 4th. Baumhauer gets it over to Maple on the far wing. Maple being watched by Brimes. Baumhauer gets it back. Baumhauer gets a screen coming up. Puts it up off the glass. Somehow puts it in. That was off a right hand. I don't even know how she saw it to put it in. That was impressive. 1-point lead by Pioneer. 2:40 left to go here in the 3rd. DeWolf brings it up over to Hicks. Hicks, bounce pass over to Bogan. Bogan moves it to DeWolf. DeWolf right on the edge of the blockades. DeWolf gets it to Clark on the far wing. Then Clark hands it back to DeWolf. DeWolf trying to go down baseline. Kicks into the near corner for Hicks. Hicks with the 3-pointer will not fall. Baumhauer, of course, with the rebound. Baumhauer over center court. Baumhauer into the paint. Baumhauer puts it up. They call the foul on Pioneer as Baumhauer tried to go. DeWolf called for the foul. You wonder, Baumhauer getting underneath the basket too much. You almost wonder, because Pioneer, the baskets come down from the ceiling. There is no stand holding it up. You wonder if she normally plays in a gym with that and is used to seeing that to judge more where she's at on the court. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go. Stewart back into the game. 1-point lead by Pioneer. Baumhauer at the line, looking to tie it up. 9 fouls for each team. Next puts him in the double bonus. That one wouldn't fall down. Clark with the rebound. Pioneer by 1. DeWolf bringing it up the court. DeWolf over center. DeWolf steps to her left-hand side. Now coming back on the near sideline. DeWolf being watched by Baumhauer. DeWolf seeing Stewart on the far side. Kicks it to Stewart. Stewart over to Hicks on the far sideline. Hicks throws it over to DeWolf on the near side. Over to Stewart. Stewart back to DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf double team. DeWolf dribbles out of trouble. DeWolf Comes to the near side to the far side, hands off to Hicks. Hicks working her way around the arc, gets it to Stewart. Stewart all the way over to Bogan. Bogan for three. That a little too hard off the rim. Coming the other direction's Maple. Maple over center. Maple quickly kicks it off. Knocked out of bounds by DeWolf to slow him down as DeWolf jumped the route. 1 minute, 21 seconds left. 1 point lead by Pioneer. Baumhauer to inbound underneath her own basket. Stewart and Brines coming back in. Bogan gets a breather. Baumhauer inbounds it. And over to Matamore. Matamore moving it to Baumhauer. Baumhauer into the paint. Baumhauer works her way on the far side. Loses it. Out of bounds over to Pioneer. Breen Bogan back in. Replacing Brines. Offense for defense by Coach Hicks. That ahead to Bogan. Bogan brings it up the near side. Kicks it to Hicks. Hicks over to Stewart. Stewart comes down the baseline. Puts it up. Will not fall. Stewart gets her own rebound. Double teamed. And a foul called. As it's 1 minute, 3 seconds left to go. Stewart goes to the line. Stewart has had some great shots that just bounced all around the rim and would not go down. It happened to Pioneer at Huron, too. Pioneer took great shots in the second half, and every once in a while you do not get that shooter's roll at all. Stewart puts it up, puts it in on the first free throw. 2 point lead for Pioneer. Stewart with one more. Pioneer in the double bonus now, as Northview has 10 fouls. Next foul by Pioneer puts Northview in the double bonus. Stewart puts it up, puts it in! Stewart makes it a 3-point lead for Pioneer. Baumhauer bringing it up. Under a minute left to go. Hicks watching Baumhauer. Northview timeout. Fouled out for Northview. Sullins, their other center, has 4 fouls. One more foul and she will be declared ineligible. As Taylor to inbound. Taylor over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer working her way against Hicks. Kicks on the far wing to Matamore. Matamore over to Taylor on the far sideline. Gets it back. Head over to Maple on the near wing. Maple gets it to Baumhauer. Baumhauer triple team. Baumhauer gets it over to Matamore on the far wing. Matamore over to Taylor on the far sideline. Taylor gets it over. Sullins handing off to Baumhauer. Baumhauer coming down and bounces it off the glass and picking it up to Wolf out of bounds as Matamore tried to steal the pass, and Pioneer with the ball in the 3-point lead. 26.4 seconds left to go. You figure that at this point Northview is going to foul as they are double teaming the Wolf, and now they foul her as they tried to grab the inbound and tried the full court press. Taylor called for her third foul. It's the 11th for Northview. As at the line shooting 2 is DeWolf. Pioneer 44. Northview 41. Up and in. Pioneer with a 4-point lead. Well, tomorrow will be a doubleheader for us as the Pioneer ladies hockey team will take on Grosse Pointe South. And then the Pioneer men's hockey team will take on Pinckney. That roams out. Pioneer with 4-point lead. 20 seconds left to go. Baumhauer pushing quickly. Baumhauer putting it up and in. Off the glass and the foul. That was just unbelievable. Baumhauer, just, what can you say? She has some skills. She has the point lead for the game out of everyone, and she has put up some crazy shots where you just wonder how she sees it as she puts it up off the glass and in. 15.9 seconds left to go. It's a 2-point game. Baumhauer has one shot coming for the and one. She can make it a 1-point game. And then timeout by Northview. Baumhauer toes the line, so we'll see if she goes to hit it or goes for the hard shot. She puts it in and sinks it. 1-point game. So Hicks will inbound. Hicks gets it over to Bogan, back to Hicks. Hicks over to Wolf. DeWolf quickly over to Bogan. Bogan grabbed and fouled with 10 seconds left to go. So Pioneer, great ball movement there, by the way. Really good job moving it quickly, not giving Northview much of a chance. They actually had to just grab Bogan. You don't want to commit the foul off of the ball because then, Pioneer gets the ball. And the free throw. So Pioneer with Bogan at the line. Pioneer 45, Northview 44, 10 seconds left to go. Bogan puts it up. Bogan puts it in. 2-point lead for Pioneer. Matamore comes in, and as we said, she has not taken many three-pointers in this game, but in the shoot-around, she was hitting them from everywhere. Maybe it's different game versus shoot-around. Bogan puts it up. Bogan puts it in. 3-point game. 10 seconds left to go. Pioneer calls the timeout. You imagine either Bogan is going to drive and try and pick up a foul. Bogan has been doing basically everything in this game. Or you think maybe Matamore for a three-pointer. Quickly ahead. Oh, Brian's trying to knock it away. Here comes Maple. Maple on the near wing. Maple works around. And timeout called. So, 5.5 seconds left to go. Maple to inbound on the near sideline. Pioneer up by 3. Maple looking to inbound. Gets it over to Baumhauer. Baumhauer on the far sideline. Baumhauer. And she steps out of bounds. Baumhauer has done everything else, though. So inbounding, Pioneer, Hicks to inbound on the far sideline. Looking for a place to go. Did that over to DeWolf. They fouled DeWolf. 2.1 seconds left to go. DeWolf will go to the line to shoot 2. If she can hit one of these, it will make it a 2-possession game. I said if. So my wife is shaking her head saying I've just as sitting at the foul line. DeWolf in to take the shot. DeWolf puts it up, puts it in. 4-point game. So at this point, it would take a 3-pointer and a foul to tie it up with 2.1 seconds left to go. That's a lot of pressure on it, but anything can happen. So you need to stay focused and just don't foul. It's a 5-point game as DeWolf stinks it. 49-44. As Baumhauer puts it up, and that is the game.